Hey Fuse fam, Brad here for our second week of Big Picture Daily Devos. We've been looking at the life of Joseph, and for these Devos, we've been taking different points in Scripture, whether it's New Testament or we'll see in today's Devo, Old Testament prophet, that has to do with something that he was struggling with or going through. And the passage for today is from Zephaniah 3:17. I'm going to read it in the NIV, and then I'm going to read it in the ESV. NIV says this: "The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love, he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing." And in the ESV, he writes, "The Lord your God is in your midst, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you by his love. He will exult over you with loud singing." So if you've been following along, you might be a couple days ahead. That's totally cool. But if you haven't joined in, we're doing this Devo plan, reading it as a community. You can actually follow it on the YouVersion app by searching Big Picture, or respond to our invite on our Instagram bio. But it's really cool because you get to read scripture in community. You can or you can comment on each other's activity with it. But as I was reading this passage and just thinking about it, there's a couple things that stuck out. And there's a reason I wanted to read both the ESV and the NIV. I do think that it's very very often, right, in our culture, in our society, we find ourselves in moments where we doubt, like, hey, what does so-and-so think of me? Right? Like, what's my friend think of me? Oh, what's the guy or the girl that I'm crushing on think of me? Does this person even know I exist? Do they even care if I exist? Do they even like me? And then we internalize that. Do I even like myself? And as I was reading this today, man, I took great comfort in reading this truth that God's not going to rebuke you. Right? He's no longer going to rebuke you. There's things you might have done in your past, things you might have said or done or wished you had done, but you might regret. Like, all that stuff's in the past, but he will rejoice over you with singing. Like God, right? God of all things, creator of heaven, creator of earth, creator of the universe. He will rejoice. He rejoices over you with singing. I don't know who needs to hear that today, but I know that many of us need to be reminded of that every day, that God, he loves us. But not only does he love us, he likes us. And the reason I wanted to read from the ESV was because it says this. He says that he will rejoice over you with gladness, and he will quiet you by his love. I don't know if you've ever experienced that in life. He will quiet you by his love, right? Like, he will move you to a place where you can't even say anything. Like, there's no words to say, right? And I think sometimes, often, what we'll do is we try to fill silence with words. If we don't know what someone is thinking or what someone else is feeling, like, we might fill that void with words. Or I know I do this a lot. Like, if I'm insecure about something, I'm just gonna ask someone a bunch of questions until either they lead me to the answer that I'm hoping for, or until they validate and they lead me to the place that I'm wanting to know. I just want to know, right? And I think we do this with ourselves. We overthink things. Raise your hand if you're a classic overthinker. Yes. But not only that, but we overthink things, but we just are trying to constantly throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And we do this with God, right? We do this with God all the time. But if you know that, though, like, if you're ever in a relationship, or if you have a friendship, or I don't know, someone where you're just completely content with being quiet together, like, there's a lot of peace there. There's a lot of security there. There's a lot of assurance there. Like, I don't have to say anything to impress them. I don't have to say anything to get them to like me. I don't have to say anything to make them realize how smart I am, right? No. You can be okay just being quiet. And that's the level of relationship that we have with God. Like, when we're in God's presence, we don't have to say anything. We don't have to bring anything to the table. We don't have to do anything to prove ourselves. God likes you. And so let's just let that be the encouragement today. God likes you. Doesn't matter what you've done. Doesn't matter what you're going to do. Doesn't matter what you've thought. Doesn't matter what you did last night. Doesn't matter what you're going to do tomorrow. God likes you. And I think in this season where we're all kind of isolated, where we're probably not hearing much of anything, just knowing that, hopefully that can echo loudly. God likes